Okay, we are good there. Let's make sure we're up. Let's see, we're on all the pages. Excellent. So I may have fixed this stereo sound. So let me know if the audio is good and let me know if the stereo sound before we get started tonight. Let me know, Queens, New York, Colorado. As you guys roll in, let me know if the stereo sound, if everything is good there, because I've been tweaking it and playing with it all weekend, making sure it was correct. So I appreciate you letting me know if we're good on that end. Some people are saying it's fixed, so I think we got it. A little shout out to my good buddy Gil Chavez, who is helping me fix all the technical back end. He's amazing. We are streaming on a full HD camera tonight. We have the audio working because he's a genius when it comes to technical stuff. So he was helping me with that on yesterday for about an hour or so on the phone. It's beautiful. I love it. Everyone's hearing me. Good. Sounds up. Sounds great. We are cooking with gas, as they say. Let's jump in, everyone. Let's see. Okay, good. Central Oregon, Tennessee. Love it. All of you guys getting on. I'm going to warn you right now. I'm feeling a little feisty tonight. It's Sunday night. I got some rest last night. I got some rest today a little bit. And I'm going to show you some websites tonight that are going to, I'm telling you right now, one website is going to probably lose me some fans, and that's okay. And this website is going to probably make you bend your mind a little bit. I have held this one back for a while. Some of you know about it. Some of you don't. Majority probably don't. But I'm going to bend you a little bit. I hope that's okay. Wonderful. We have a little bit of dose of everything today. Finance, Trump and Obamagate, you name it. And then we're going to dive into some really crazy stuff. So I hope you guys can handle that. And then while this is all going on, I will tell you that there is crazy stuff happening on Twitter right now. And then I'm going to have an announcement tomorrow night, as well as tomorrow night, a special guest. So stay tuned for that. Excellent. Good. People with earbuds tell me it's working. That means the stereo sound is rocking and rolling. So wonderful. Good. Let's dive in. Now, for anybody out there who's panicking about crypto, okay, don't panic. Let me show you something. I'm going to go off camera. Hold on a second. I forgot about this. So anybody who's panicking about crypto, stop panicking. Dr. Dean did not go over to the New World Order. I am not an Illuminati NWO shill like someone said. I had someone on a... I try to read as much as I can, but some things I have to leave alone because it's hilarious. I was told that I brought everybody in, then I sold them out to the New World Order, so I'm a shill, which I think is comical. If anyone who knows me out there, I am not an NWO shill. You can ask my wife. So, this little baby right here, okay? Now, this is a crypto ledger or little wallet. I am not going over to quote-unquote the digital world and giving a wallet, and I'm not going to get injected with a chip that tells me where I am, and I'm not going to go into a digital system. What I'm doing is I'm being a smart investor, which is why I've been giving you guys the same advice. I'm going to be a smart investor, which is I'm watching the largest transfer of wealth on the face of the planet, possibly in history, go down right now. This is from watching a lot of YouTube. The Bearable Bowl. Go watch Dan Pena. If you just YouTube Dan Pena. Now, I will warn you, his words. He's not for the little ears. I'll just tell you that. But he's genius. Largest transfer of wealth in the world. Now, no, I am not going digital in the fact that I'm going to give up all my paper money and my gold and silver. That's not the point. The point is that this is coming. Okay, crypto is here. I was in crypto a long time ago, a couple years ago. I'd already invested in it. I have friends who were in it. Basically, this is... I actually also watched somebody today who was speaking at an IMF, International Monetary Fund conference, and he said, people asked him, like, what about doing loans at a bank and money and all this stuff? He said, keep in mind, we already have digital currency. When you go into your bank, folks, if you think this is crazy, if you think it's all going downhill, if you go in your bank tomorrow to take out a loan, no one hands you cash. Nobody, right? If you go to get a $10,000 loan for a car, let's say a used car, no one hands you $10,000 worth of cash. Now, they may give you a $10,000 check, but again, that's not cash. What really happens is they type in little digits on your computer screen that gets transferred over to your account. It's fiat, it's fake, it's not really there. You pay it back. When it's done, it goes away. You pay interest on it, okay? This is really no different. Now, I am not going full blown into digital currency and giving up everything. That's not the focus. The focus is understand that in the future, at some point, there will be a partial digital currency from a crypto standpoint. This is the Bitcoins, the Ripples, the XLM, Stellar. There's tons of them, right? There's so many. Dogecoin, there's a pot coin. There's so many out there. And again, they're not the money today. I just know full well that there's going to be something there. And some of you are already paying digitally. Again, I'm not a shill. I'm not giving up. What I'm doing is I'm being a smart investor. And I can get, right now, Ripple, I can get 20 cents a coin that might go to 100 or it might go to $10,000 a coin. So, if my 20-cent Ripple coin goes to $1,000, I'm going to very happily cash that baby in for potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, I'm not giving you investment advice. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying I am a smart investor. This is how people make money out there, is you have to understand where things go, the ebbs and flows of the market. But at the same time, I still have gold and silver coins. I still have money in the bank. I still have cash in my house. Like, it is what it is. I'm not going to tell you how much cash I have, but you have to understand how investing works. Now, keep in mind, some crypto is very much fiat currency, its banking system, etc. But keep in mind as well that a lot of crypto, which keeps everything privatized, everything that is not correct at all, that's not accurate. And so this is my little ledger. I'm playing with it. I'm putting all my money, or not all my money, I'm putting all my crypto on it so that it's off the exchanges, so that I can sit here and play with it, and then I can invest here back and forth. But again, does not change the fact that that is coming, okay? Crypto is here for the stay. It's going to be used. It's not going to be the only currency that's used. Hopefully there's also paper currency. But I want to let everyone know that that is not what I'm doing, okay? Now, next up is I actually received a message over the weekend from Fred Deshevsky. You might have seen my post today. He actually has a website. I believe it's called US Coin Capital. I posted it today. So within the next couple weeks, I'm also going to have somebody who is an expert, Fred, who's going to talk about gold and silver numismatic coins. Now, a lot of you are going to ask about bullion. I personally, from my experience and my education in the gold and silver world, I do not prefer bullion for many reasons, which we'll go into, and I'll even ask that question of him. I prefer coins that are minted by the U.S. Treasury, that have value, and over a period of time cannot be manipulated, cannot be faked, cannot be anything, okay? It's a coin or it's not a coin, okay? It's actually certified. Also, with numismatic coins, you don't necessarily have to tell anybody that you have it, unlike a lot of other places where you have to register things. So, just so you know, okay? That's what's going on with that. Ready? Now, I want to tell you that this is one theory on what could be happening. Is you need to get your financial and your health houses together the next 6 months. Okay, so we have May is almost over. We have June, we have July, we have August, we have September, we have October, and then November is the election. Okay, whether or not we have election, I don't know. We'll see. But we have at least 5 to 6 months of prep time. Why do I say that? Based on what I'm reading, listening, watching, The president is propping up the economy, the false economy. When I say false economy, I'm talking about the Federal Reserve economy, Wall Street, etc. Okay? He's propping up the false economy until he gets elected. Wow, and you've heard this on X22 as well. I mean, I didn't get it just from there, but you've heard it there. Behind the scenes, he is propping up a new economy, which is based on the United States of America manufacturing. Now, what's going to happen most likely is our current economy after the election, if he's elected, I assume, is going to crash. We will probably see some sort of depression right after the election. Now, that could be a massive depression. I don't know. I'm just letting you know. I'm telling you right now. Get your financial and your health, and as well as everything else. But I'm focusing on those two. Getting your health and financial house in order. That means get your investments right. Get everything right with your financial advisors. Make sure you have everything in place. Again, I cannot tell you from a financial standpoint what to do. I cannot tell you from a law standpoint what to do because I'm neither an attorney nor an advisor. Okay, I can just tell you to go start reading, go start watching, talk to your advisors, make sure you have good advisors. Now, health, I can help you with that one. I know how that works. Okay, but you have to get them ready because in 6 months, if everything does crash and we hit a depression, now I don't think the depression is going to last based on what I'm hearing. I think it's going to crash hard, and then he kicks in the new economy, and it skyrockets. But you still have to crash one of the economies. And why do we have to crash an economy? The economy, anyone out here watching right now, the only thing you have ever known is a Federal Reserve system where you pay in taxes, you get screwed by your government, you have to pay every year to the IRS, you pay all these insane amounts of taxes, right? You've lived under this suppressed system for so long, your whole life, right? Well, that is a corrupt, criminal economic system. And if it goes correctly the way we all want to, you have to rebuild, or you have to create a brand new system, which is for the people, which is, by the way, federal income taxes in that standpoint would be gone as you know it. Now, there might be a flat type tax or something like that on things that are, unnecessary expenses, but you want, right? Versus like food and stuff. That might occur, I don't know, but I'm just letting you know. Every time you have a crash, guess who makes the most money? The top 1%. Now, some of you are going to get mad and say the top 1% always make money. No, they don't. Guess what? Do you know why they make money? Because they've educated themselves. Now, I'm not saying all of them are legal and all of them ethical. Obviously, the Bill Gates of the world, even the Warren Buffetts of the world, I believe are very criminal in a lot of things they do. Like Warren Buffett right now is dumping all of his airline stocks. But how much do you hear that? You don't, right? So he is waiting for the coming collapse. So I'm letting you know right now, even whether you're in the 1% or you're not in the 1%, right? Get ready, get your numbers right, get your money right, because it's coming. And let me tell you, during the Great Depression in the US, the wealthy made the most money. Not because it was rigged in their end. Not all 1%ers, by the way, just so you know. Not all 1%ers are bad people, right? There's some, obviously, that do really bad things, but some 1%ers are just good, honest, hardworking people that made their money. You keep in mind and realize, if you make over, I think it's, don't hold me to these numbers to be 100% accurate. You'll have to go look them up. But last time I checked, I think if you made above $150,000 a year or $200,000 a year or something like that, I think you're like in the top 5% or maybe top 10% now, I don't know. But realize that it does not take a giant amount of money every year to be in those top percentages. So that top 1%, even in the depression, they made the most money because money doesn't go away in a depression. And money doesn't go away in a recession. It just floats to different areas, okay? So be ready. The crash probably is coming. The other thing that I wanted to cover is I have a feeling that one of two things is going to happen. Either before the election or maybe after the election. Probably before. Is that the virus comes back again worse than before. Now, why would that occur? one of two things. First of all, if you think the deep state cabal is going down without a fight, you're completely incorrect. They will go down battling till the very end. They've even said they will destroy the earth before they will give up. So you have to understand that. So one of two things are going to happen. Either I think they turn on 5G, and now keep in mind with 5G, and I'm going to go maybe into this tomorrow a little bit more, but President Trump has actually stopped Huawei, the Chinese company that mostly manufactures a lot of the 5G parts. He actually cut them off until May of 2021. So there's more news coming out in the 5G industry, and if some of it may be really good for us. Now, back to this. Why would the virus come back? Well, either 5G ramps up, and or, keep in mind, if we get half the population or more that run to get their vaccine in, say, July or August or September or maybe even October, well, guess what's going to happen to those people? There's this thing called shedding, right? COVID-19 plus God knows what else, because realize as this thing ramps up, they're sending this vaccine to the public without any animal studies. If you've watched Judy Mikovits or you've watched Rashid Buttar, both the physicians, or anybody in healthcare, they will tell you that vaccine science, whether it's junk or not, vaccine science, it takes years to get a vaccine out, okay? So what's going to happen is it's going to shed. Now, if you have half the population that received the vaccine, it's going to shed, and other people will start feeling some of the symptoms. So that could happen very easily. And when we talk about shedding, for example, say you have a kid who goes to daycare or school, and they come home and they're not vaccinated, they don't get medicated or whatever else, but all of a sudden they have a cold or they have a virus, whatever it is. Well, how did they get it? Well, one, they may have come in touch with something that they hadn't been around before, and they pick it up, their immune system kicks in, everything's good. However, most of those kids who are vaccinated, they're shedding, and so it can be picked up very easily. So you have to know these things because this is out. Let's see here. Good. Okay. Let's go over to... First, some people say the video's cutting in and out badly tonight. That is not on my end. We're all good. That must be connections, and I will tell you, I will do my best on my end to keep it up as well as I can, but everything here says it's good. Anyway, here's the Bongino report. Big headline today. President Trump reverses on restoring, let me bring this a little bit higher, restoring partial funding likely to make the World Health Organization's cuts permanent. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this. What happened was the president was actually thinking about restoring some of the funding to the World Health Organization. Now, why, I don't know, but I also read that he watched Tucker Carlson, which is one of his favorite hosts, as well as Lou Dobbs and Hannity and many others. He was watching Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson did basically a legitimate ethical hit job on the WHO, and the president then went back. Pompeo was talking about it and said that it looks like the president is going to cut the World Health Organization funds permanently. So that is huge, absolutely huge. Okay, so just so you know, that's what's going on. I was blown out of my mind on that one. That one's actually fantastic. Okay, so really, really amazing. This is another one. Let me go to this headline. Trump rids major U.S. container port of Chinese communist control. So let me tell you about this one, okay? Guys, by the way, if you're having any issues on your feed, I will tell you it either is typically, because on my end, we're good. It is typically on Facebook's end. I see Facebook honestly have a lot of broadcasting problems on my end when I bring up my my panels here. If you have trouble on Facebook, I'm also streaming right now to YouTube as well and Periscope. So if you need to catch it live right now and you want to stream it, sometimes a different stream is better than others. Why? It's just the platform that it's on, okay? This is why we're going to be broadcasting straight from my own website in the very near future, because Yes, I will continue streaming live to the social media channels, but I don't want you guys getting cut off from your feeds. And it looks like Facebook does it the most, whereas YouTube is more reliable, and even Twitter a lot of times is more reliable. So I just want to let you know, don't miss out. Go to one of those other channels if you're having problems. And obviously this will be up afterwards. And also I will go double check it's on all the channels afterwards. So if you have to rewatch it, no big deal. You're never going to miss out. You'll always get the replay, okay? However, look at this. Trump rids major U.S. container port of Chinese communist control. So guess what happened? President Obama, I have a hard time even calling him President Obama at this point, because based on what I'm reading is he wasn't even eligible to be president of the United States. And that's kind of messed up, right? So I'm going to call him President Obama because it's kind of just what we do, but I think some crazy stuff's going to go down in the near future. Now, look at this. It all started with a 40-year container lease between the Port of Long Beach in Southern California and Hong Kong, and the Obama administration proudly signed the agreement in 2012, giving China control of the second largest container port behind the nearby port of Los Angeles. So Obama gave the second largest port in the United States of America to communist China in a 40-year lease, meaning that basically for the rest, well, not the rest of my life, but could be. That's insane. Okay? So that's what he got rid of that today. All right? And by the way, how much money goes through this port? $194 billion annually. Okay? So big problem there. But keep in mind, this is also Judicial Watch, which is fantastic. So Judicial Watch is covering this. I love it. Okay, so he got rid of Chinese communist control in a major port of the United States. So again, fantastic. We'll click on Judicial Watch because I don't know what they're working on now, but I like to show you this, guys, every once in a while, right? Okay, Clinton resists the email order, court order, coronavirus cash for illegal aliens. This, excuse me, I'm all ramped up tonight. Okay, this is brand new. I haven't even looked at this part, okay? I'll click on that real quick. Let me just see if there's anything else. I don't go to this site all the time, but man. So right here, I'm going to click on this just for the heck of it and see what happens. His unmasking exposed. Will Hillary Clinton testify? Hillary is still trying to get out. Hillary is still trying to get out of all this stuff, all right? So, man, guys, just keep an eye on everything because this is getting absolutely crazy. Now, I'm going to go over here. By the way, Nevada, magnitude 6.5 earthquake. This was on Friday. Okay? A 6.5 earthquake near Tonopah, Nevada, near the California-Nevada border and about 120 miles southeast of Carson City. So, we're talking a little bit about areas where Area 51 is. Now, I didn't map that out, but there's also a lot of tunnels and dumbs in Nevada. Nevada is a hot spot, okay? Absolute hot spot, all right? So I just want to let you know that. This is huge. There was a picture of it earlier. I don't get the picture this time, but essentially, if I open this up, here looks like a picture of it. So we are right down here. So west of Tonopah and southeast of Reno. All right. So that's where that actually happened. That's pretty crazy. Now switching gears, and this is going to come in just a little bit later when I talk about this. I'm gonna refer to another website, but I'm not going to go there yet. I'll come back around to it because the other one is crazy. And that's the one that people might have a little problem with me. So don't get mad at me tonight. But I'm going to talk about some interesting, crazy stuff tonight that not everyone's going to love and some people are going to absolutely love. Okay? But I first want to go into this. All right? Now, I'm going to do my best to have you guys be able to see this tonight because this is actually in Italian. But there's subtitles in American. And I don't know how much I'm going to play of it because I don't want to mess you guys up, but we're going to play some of it because this is actually in Italy, a MP, which I actually forgot her name now that I think of it, Bill Gates in the Italian Parliament. This is huge. This actually happened a couple days ago, but now it's starting to go viral. I'm going to play a little bit of it, and I'll try to skip ahead to see if I can get to the areas that are really, really pointed out. But as you'll see here, here's the video down below, because she's going to be speaking Italian. Down below are the subtitles. I hope you can see them. If not, you'll probably have to expand your screen so it's full screen. If you're just looking on the regular timeline and window, you may not see it, okay? But here we go.
Ci diceva che il potere assoluto non nasce con un'imposizione dall'alto, ma dalla scelta di individui che si sentono più protetti rinunciando e concedendo la propria libertà ad un terzo.
I love the Italian
In
language.
virtù di questo, voi proseguite anestetizzando le menti a base di mass media comprati,
Corrupted mass media,
PNL, con parole come regime,
NLP with words like regime,
fino al punto di permettervi proprio di normare anche i nostri legami e i sentimenti e certificare i nostri affetti. Quindi, in questo senso, la fase 2 non è nient'altro che la prosecuzione della fase 1. Si cambia solo il nome, come già avvenuto peraltro per il MES. Abbiamo capito che non si muore di
we have understood people for sure don't die for the virus alone.
Si potrà soffrire e
Thanks to your laws, people are going to die and suffer
per la miseria e la povertà.
for misery and poverty, and the blame will be dropped on citizens. You take away our freedom and say that we looked for it.
Al grido del dividi et impera. A rimetterci soprattutto i
Our
nostri
children will lose more.
anime violentate in
raped
accordo
souls.
con il garante, si dice, dei loro diritti e delle cismai varie. Sarà allora concesso il diritto alla scuola solo con un braccialetto per abituare la
Granted
libertà
school with a
vigilata
bracelet to
ai
get them their
TSO
stuff.
schiavisti e ai lager
Slavery,
virtuali,
involuntary
in
treatment,
cambio di un monopattino e di un tablet.
and they're getting mad at her.
Per assecondare gli appetiti
She
del
yells.
capitalismo finanziario il cui motore è il conflitto di interessi, ben rappresentato dall'OMS, il cui primo finanziatore è il noto filantropo e salvatore
Bill
del
Gates.
mondo, Bill Gates. Lo sappiamo tutti ormai.
They're yelling at her.
Gates già nel 2018 profetizzava una pandemia, poi simulata lo scorso
She's
ottobre
calling it out in the
2025,
Italian
in accordo con gli
parliamentary.
amici di Davos. Ed ormai da decenni si prodiga nello sviluppo di piani di depopolamento e controllo dittatoriale sulla politica globale, puntando a ottenere il primato su agricoltura
And they're yelling at
e
her.
energia, e dice testuali parole riprese da una sua dichiarazione: se facciamo un buon lavoro con i nuovi vaccini, la
Look at
sanità e la
that.
salute riproduttiva, possiamo diminuire la popolazione mondiale del 10-15%. E continua, aperte virgolette, solo un genocidio può salvare il mondo.
How amazing is that?
Grazie ai suoi vaccini è riuscito a sterilizzare milioni di donne in Africa. Ha provocato un'epidemia di poliomielite che ha paralizzato 500.000 bambini in India e ancora oggi con il suo DTP causa
She's
più
calling it
morti
all out.
della stessa malattia, così come con i suoi OGM sterilizzati
GMOs.
usati da Monsanto e donati così generosamente alle popolazioni bisognose. Il tutto mentre sta già pensando di
Quantum
distribuire il
tattoo.
quantico per il riconoscimento vaccinale e i vaccini ad mRNA come strumenti di riprogrammazione del nostro sistema immunitario.
I mean, she goes
Oltre
deep.
a fare diversi affari anche con le multinazionali
And
che possiedono
5G.
le infrastrutture 5G negli Stati Uniti. E allora in questa tavola imbandita c'è tutto il deep state in salsa
Deep
italiana.
state.
C'è la Sanofi,
Sanofi,
insieme alla già
GlaxoSmithKline.
gli amici per intendersi di Ranieri Guerra, di Ricciardi e del noto virologo che noi paghiamo a 2.000 euro ogni 10 minuti per
She's
le
fired up.
presentazioni RAI, sigla accordi con le società di medicina per l'indottrinamento dei medici del futuro, facendosi beffe della loro autonomia di giudizio e del loro giuramento. Ci sono le multinazionali high-tech come la Romana Engineering, amica tra l'altro del nobile Mantoan, o la Bendy Spoons della Pisano.
So I'm going to pause it there. You guys can go watch the rest when you're done. I'm going to look up her name. I did this earlier. And when you pull up her name, so I'll make this bigger. So she is a member of the Italian Chamber of Deputies. Okay. Now, I did this earlier. I translated her Wikipedia page. Okay, so when you go to her Wikipedia page, and I'm not a giant fan of Wikipedia, just for the time being, I know it's gonna at least give me some information. So so I don't know all of this because obviously I'm not in Italy, and I don't know how their parliament necessarily works. But she's born in Rome. She actually graduated in industrial chemistry, so she probably knows her stuff. Um, um, let's see. It says he. I don't know why that says he is a member of the 13th Commission for Agriculture. So in disputes in vaccine on January 6, 2018, she was temporarily suspended by the 5-Star Movement, which I don't necessarily understand. I'm not going to click into all those. Following a post published on Facebook where she compares vaccination to free genocide. Later, she was readmitted to the list and elected. So she actually got called out because she posted on Facebook that vaccinations were genocide. I'm going to have to go follow this woman. I didn't know about her. But this is a little bit about her, just on her Wikipedia page, etc. So they're already calling her crazy, which means she must be absolutely amazing. Okay, absolutely amazing. So there is that. I thought you guys would love that, and it would be pretty cool. So let me bounce back to me, and we'll. Okay. Now I'm gonna set you up for this next one. Okay, when I say set you up, just get you ready and prepared for it. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dive into what I think is occurring. Now I had the videos and the tweets earlier, but I couldn't find them afterwards when I got home. But I'm going to go into some tweets regarding what might be occurring with all the arrests and everything else we always talk about. So everyone wants to know when the arrests are going to happen, the deep state, all this different stuff. And there's a couple of Twitter feeds today that I stumbled upon that were very fascinating. But first, the videos that I found in tweets were actually from President Trump. The video was back in March 28, 2011, and it was actually the morning show on Fox called Fox and Friends. At the time, Steve Doocy, Gretchen Carlson, and the last guy who I just can't remember off the top of my head. But it was not eligible to be president, and the birth certificate was fraudulent. Now, he said he may not be allowed to be president. And it was funny because the members of the show were kind of like, they were a little stunned. And like, he's coming out with this stuff very bold, and they're not going to turn the phone off on then Donald Trump, because obviously he's such a big name. But it was pretty huge. And anyway, they said, well, do you think he's legal to be president, or something along those lines? And he said, basically, I'm not going to say, but it doesn't look good, or something along those lines. Now, in 2012 was when the President of the United States, not president then, tweeted out that when he was like 18 years old, he knew where he was, and he went by Donald J. Trump. But when Barack Obama was 18 years old, he went by Barry Soetoro, and he actually spelled the last name wrong, which I think was on purpose. And he had several tweets in around the 2012 area where he said the president was not eligible to be president. Now, keep in mind, on top of that is, think about this one. If President Obama was an illegal president, do you realize that for 8 years, and now I'm not saying he is or not, I don't know. I can only go based on what I'm reading. My guess and belief at this point has nothing to do with his skin color, his race, who he might be married to. I am a person that I want every president to succeed, because they're running our country and they're commander-in-chief. And I love America, so I want America to succeed. I would want the president to succeed. Now, I may not agree with his policies, and I didn't like what he did, but I still want him to run the country correctly. I don't care if he's black, Asian, Indian, does not matter to me, right? I don't look at people like that. So, it's very possible that 8 years of Barack Obama could be wiped out. All executive orders, everything he signed off on, could be considered null and void if he was not eligible to be president of the United States. That's insane. Absolutely crazy. Do you realize the possibility of something like that? But then Donald Trump was tweeting about that the whole time. I have a feeling that they were basically setting Donald Trump up for president a long time ago. Now, that could be Project Looking Glass. That could be a whole bunch of different things. But I believe that this was possibly set up. One of my associates at the office, one of her patients, is a younger military veteran. And the moment he found out from my associate that I followed Q, he wanted to talk to me. And he said he was actually studying it and looking at it from 2016. And I looked dead in his eyes and asked him, I said, do you believe that this is staged to basically get our country back and remove the deep state? And he said, absolutely. So that is my belief on this and my hope for all this, that this is how this all comes about and how we get our country back. So I just wanted to kind of go into that because I think that's really, really, really important, okay? Now, I'm going to take you into the last website before we're done tonight, and I'm going to take you to the craziness, okay? So let me actually get this set up over here so when I dive into it, this is the first thing you're looking. Now, some of you, I'm telling you right now, before I dive into this, okay, I am not attacking any belief system. I am simply looking at this from a logical, critical thinking standpoint. I look at everything. I personally believe that there are ETs, that there are UFOs, that there are different civilizations all over the universe. Now, I have spoken to family members. I have spoken to complete strangers who are theologians, who are pastors. I have spoken to people from different faiths who are very set and steadfast in their faith. And I've asked them, is it possible or is it not allowed to have ETs if you believe in God, in Christ, in Bible? And every single one of them tell me that's absolutely insane. Like, first of all, God is creator of the world. God can create anything he wants to. Why would we limit him to just us? That's not possible. And even then, you can go in and find actual evidence in the Bible on ETs. Now, it may not stand out and say extraterrestrials in the Bible, but you have to learn how to read the Bible. I mean, you slowly bring up. Now, people say demons, fallen angels. That may be true, but there also may be just actual extraterrestrials. That, like, we are one planet in a galaxy of billions of planets, in a universe of billions and billions and billions of galaxies. If we think, this is just me scientifically thinking, right? Analytical, right? Do we really think that we're the only ones here? I mean, I just can't wrap my mind around that. So I freely educate myself. I freely go in and study. I don't worship anything alien-wise, nothing like that. I just look at it because it's fascinating to me, and I believe there's something going on this planet that is dealing with extraterrestrials. You've looked at Phil Schneider. I have Cooper. Behold a Pale Horse. Right? Look in his book. He is a steadfast, spiritual Christian man, and he talks about exactly what he saw and what there is based on government records, okay? So I'm going to take you into this. Now, the reason I'm taking you into this is not because I want to talk about ETs and UFOs tonight, but it has to do with the earthquakes in Nevada, okay? In Nevada. If you didn't know, there's tunnels, there's dumbs, they're all over, but Nevada is really special, okay? Really, really special. So let me dive into this. All right, here we go. Now, if you haven't seen this before, this is a very intense website, okay? A very intense website. It's called the Orion lines, okay? There's a Q up in the corner with the rabbit. So when you get to this, when you first load it, it's a slow loading website. It's become a very interesting website for me to go to because it brings a lot of stuff together, okay? Okay. I'm gonna scroll down because this is actually not the part that I wanted to see. Okay, they talk about fake news. They talk about Pizzagate. Okay, some of this is not going to be easy to confront. So if you can't look at it, look away. It's got, excuse me, Hillary Clinton. It's got adrenochrome stuff. I'm going to go down here because this is what I wanted to show. Okay, now these are the Orion lines. And now keep in mind, Tesla spoke about this. Tesla talk about this. Okay. This is what Tesla was all over this stuff. So were other scientists. So were other physics or physicists. Okay, there are pyramids all over the U.S., all over South America, all over the world that actually align with the star systems. All right, so this is what you're looking at here, just so you know. Let me see if I need to. Okay, good. So these are the Orion lines. All right, you can go to this website. Yes, I'll post it. Okay. I can't wait to look at the comments after this. I'm not seeing them all and who is good and who is not good right now. Okay. Thank you. Somebody actually posted. I appreciate that. There is right there. Okay. There is right there. Guys, this is so even this point. This is not even going into ET stuff. This is literally just physics. This is how, this is why the pyramids were put there. Pyramids were actually creating free energy. They were energy conductors. All right. So there is the connection, the correct orientation of the Milky Way galaxy. Orion's belt, Orion, all that stuff. Okay. Now I'm going to slide down here. All right. Here is what I really wanted to show you, which was the secret underground railroads in America, identical to death marches in Nazi Germany. All right. Why? Okay, so I'm not going to go into some of this stuff here because some of this you may not be able to take. I don't know how much farther I'm going to go on this website because I know some of it gets even more deep and some people aren't ready for that. However, this is where the different the DUMs are in the actual underground tunnels. Okay, so Nevada is a hotbed, but so is New Mexico. Nevada here. What am I thinking? Nevada's up here. And then I'm forgetting my states off the top of my head. I think that's Arizona. And then I think New Mexico. So it's actually, this is the whole design of the star systems. This is what they do, okay? Keep in mind, your deep state people are involved with astrology, all right? Now there's bad astrology and good astrology, just so you know. Over here you go, NASA, all right? So you know what NASA, so the red part here on NASA, the two lines, you know what that is? That is the serpent's tongue. I don't know if you knew that or not. Here is the Orion star system. Here is the Draco star system and the Pleiadian star system, okay? There's reasons why they have those three up there. There's a reason why NASA's the way it is. So I hope, let me tell you, people are saying this is really deep. I did not even expect to go this deep until probably about a half an hour ago, and I just was like, okay. When I was looking up the Nevada stuff, I'm like, they have to know this. They got to look at this because this is just part of the website. When you go deeper into it, there's even deeper stuff. Okay. Now here's the 2020 earthquakes. Look where they all have been. Okay, the blue are the 2020 earthquakes. See how they line up with the different areas. Now, obviously, they're not done necessarily. I don't know if this was updated or not recently, but so far, that's where the earthquakes are. So that actually lines up with everything, okay? Now, look over here, NASA to the new NASA. Look what our new ship looks like. That does look like the ship that we have built, okay? Again, Sirius, Draco, Pleiadians. Now, for any of you that really want to go down a deep rabbit hole, the Dracos are obviously good from what I think they're benevolent. I'm off the top of my head. I don't study that all the time. So, but that's what that is. Okay. So, don't think that this stuff's not occurring, folks. You can not look at it all you want to, but this stuff is actually really real. My hope, and yes, there is much deeper than that. I saw somebody go, this is not that deep. Yes, there is much deeper. But not everyone can handle the deep. That's why I might have to do that group. I just haven't had time and to do that. But yes, we might have to go down that road. Okay. Now I'm not going to necessarily scroll down because they have some. I will only go so far because they have some pretty intense stuff here that some people are not ready for yet, and I understand that. But look at all this stuff. This is all the Nazca lines. Rename them the Orion lines. Okay, Orion. Okay, so we will be posting this. All right. Some pretty cool stuff here. I'm not gonna go. That's where I'm not gonna go. You guys can go there if you want to. Okay. But there's other stuff up here. It talks about Tesla, MK Ultra. Okay. I'll go to Tesla real quick. I don't even know what this one shows. Yeah, so see, guess who is helping Tesla? Look at that. All right, this is known. This is known stuff, guys. This is not anything that's been held secret, okay? If you've studied Tesla like I have, you've seen this stuff, okay? All right. Yes, I love learning about this stuff. I don't have to like take it as gospel. I just really enjoy learning it, and I take what makes sense to me and I go with it. And if other things don't make sense, or I think like, oh, I don't know. I also very typically, once I find something, I make sure there's other sources where I can get the material from, and if that makes sense to me, okay? So, just so you know, this is sorry for the bad words. I have my swearing off and on. There's Tesla Laboratory. There would be free electricity, okay? People want me to talk about Palladians. I'll talk about Palladians a different time. I have to do more study. I haven't looked at it in a long time. Tesla's death ray. Tesla was apparently from Venus. I haven't even looked at this page. This is so if I scroll to something I'm not sure about, I might have to kick myself off because I have not looked at this page. So I'm seeing it for the first time. You are. He actually took the page down, I think, a little while ago, and it was missing and then this one is actually a new and improved website. So he must have been working on this, or she must have been working on this really well. So you guys can go study this when you have time. I'm going to go look this back over tonight because this has changed since I last looked at it, and it looks even more fascinating. So the space people have visited Tesla engineers many times and told us that Tesla was a Venusian, which I don't know that word well, I guess Venus, brought to this planet as a baby in 1856 and left with Mr. and Mrs. Tesla in a remote mountain province in what is now Yugoslavia, I guess. Yugoslavia. So that's very fascinating. I'm going to lose some people tonight. So if I lose some people, guys, go get me new people because some people can't handle this and some people are going to like bounce off, and it is what it is. But I'm getting closer and closer and more every day where I just want truth. And whatever that truth comes to be, I'm willing to accept. And not everyone is willing to accept that, okay? This is just more and more stuff, which really, really looks fascinating. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is Hollywood for you. So remember that little symbol there, that little word Orion that was before movies? Yeah, don't think that Hollywood isn't plugged into this crap, okay? So Hollywood knows exactly what they're doing. Hollywood is probably directly connected to this stuff. And just so you know, I have no desire to ever watch Hollywood ever again, to be honest with you. Not only because I'm doing fine on my own with my own entertainment and research, but I don't need to take in this programming. I don't need to put junk in my mind, okay? Good. So you guys can go look at the rest of this. Looks like that's the end of that one, okay? But I just wanted to let you know and show you that. The last thing I wanted to do, I'm not going to read these all off to you, but I want to show you. If you're on Twitter, by the way, if you're not on Twitter, you need to go get a Twitter account and start following some of these people because these people are amazing researchers. This one is called Burn Notice. It's at BurnSpy34. This is called a thread. It starts with number 1, obviously, and then it goes down to number 2, and you just have to read through. So his starts off with the taking down of the deep state. Many people are nervous about Trump and other world leaders, wondering who is doing what and if evil and powers may yet prevail. Let me give you a glimpse into the magnitude of Trump's operation. Meaning, just so you know, a lot of people are saying, well, it's not moving fast enough. What if it doesn't happen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Again, I'm on the side that this is all going to go down the way we want it to go down. But the operation that would be taking place behind the scenes is probably of such great magnitude you could never comprehend how much is involved, okay? So here's another one. Trump's executive order on 20th December 2017 is accepted by most as a good step towards blocking human trafficking. And he goes through why, okay? Few people really understand the jurisdiction that this gave him. And again, you're going to go through this. I'm just highlighting it, okay? You may need to reread or read Trump's executive order several times to appreciate its brilliance. Focus on who is the target of this order. Any foreign person determined by the Secretary of the Treasury in consultation with the Secretary of State and the Attorney General, okay, to be a current or former government official or a person acting for or on behalf of such an official who is responsible for or complicit in or has directly or whatever. But look, it comes back to Mnuchin, Secretary of Treasury, Attorney General William Barr, and Mr. Pompeo, Secretary of State. Okay, they're involved with this, and that just named them out. All right. So this is more. They just go. He actually highlights different points of this executive order and how this is such an important executive order. Okay, good. Podesta Group and the Clinton Foundation, Soros. He goes through. It's a really, really good one. And then if you get to the bottom, there's this little thing called Thread Reader. If you want to see this, not in the Twitter form, you just click on this, okay? It kicks over to a new page, and then you can actually see it all laid out, okay? So if you don't know how Twitter works, guys, I want to give you a little training session tonight. All right? Can you tell I watch it ClickFunnels because it puts ads up for me? So this is an easy one for you to read through where it takes all of that and makes it into story form, okay? I hope that helps. This is the last one we'll talk about tonight. This is the Twitter handle Bush320 at Bush320, and I'm not following him, so I have to fix that. I think I'm following Burn Notice. Yeah, I am. Okay, good. So, for the people who think the global mass arrests are on a complete farce, allow me to explain the legal justification to what is soon about to take place. For the last 19 years, our nation, the USA, has been undergoing a silent war between military intelligence and again, it's a thread, okay, so you go down to the next one, and the cabal or the New World Order. Though I can't go into all the details, America has not just been at war against terror, but with the embedded terrorists and traitors operating within our own country. What I'm about to share is simply a historical breakdown of the legal maneuvers that have led us into this tenuous point in American and world history. Were you aware that America is right now under a declared state of war since 9/11/2001? All right? That declaration has never stopped. 19 years of the war on terror, all right? So again, you're going to read through this on your own. But you go down, this is the Declaration of War, Constitution. It's in here, okay? So when Congress last used its power to declare war, he gives all good sourced information, all right? The power to use natural resources on public lands. So he goes down how this could happen. So right here's a good one. But what would happen if a non-Illuminati president, someone like Donald Trump, came to power in this nation? He could not be bought out by special interest groups because he is already a wealthy man. Bribing or honeypot sex traps have long been hooks of choices to ensnare politicians and blackmail. But what happens when the most powerful person in the world is not for sale with a with a non-NWO president in power? The Illuminati knew they were royally screwed. They were exposed. So this goes through. I want you guys to read all this stuff because this stuff is really what keeps you kind of not only more positive thinking, but it gives you data and information, and they back it up with actual facts. Okay, so this goes through all of that information, and this one's a long one. I wonder if at the end if they have a. They don't have a. Oh, by the way, there's Let's see. He doesn't have a thread thing on here, which is interesting. Don't know why. This video, I'm going to play this video for you real quick because this is actually a really good video as well, okay?
What we're experiencing right now is two master chess players sitting at the board. And one of them looks down at the board and sees that he's in checkmate in 7 moves. And he looks across at his opponent, and he knows that his opponent sees it too. So there's no getting out of it. So at this point, the loser can only prolong the game. Both players know the game is over. It's only a matter of time before he does this, and then you're forced to do this, and then he's forced to do this, and eventually checkmate. We, as a race, if we could understand that the game is over, that based on the rules of the game, the bad guys have already lost, the good guys have already won.
I like that one a lot because it really shows it really shows what's actually going on. So as I said earlier, and this led in with the fact that I think the current president might have been, if this is all going the way we want it to, that the current president might have been setting this thing up for maybe even since like 2012, or who knows if it was earlier than that. That the story that is told behind the scenes to the Anon groups, I've heard it many times, I've been told it many times, is that the military came to him, asked him to run. He decided to, but the entire intent behind running was not just to become a president, but was to become the person that helped them take down the cabal. So the military was tired of being pawns. And the president just jumped in to help them do that. And keep in mind, he's a great salesperson. So as people say, well, what if he's lying to us? What if he's lying to us? What if this is all for the New World Order and he is a bad guy, etc.? I will tell this a million times. I tell this a million times every other time. Yes, that is a possibility, but that is also not a good way of looking at it. All right? You have to keep that energy high. You have to keep the vibe up, because positive things happen when you go that direction. You know, this is a I will actually, my voice is going. I will actually tell you what chiropractors do, okay? For any chiropractors out there watching this, you'll understand this, and I want everyone else to understand it. A lot of times you'll meet chiropractors who are very successful, and they're the most positive people on the face of the planet, all right? And I'll even mention some names, because you guys want to hear some names. And if these people are in your area, go to them. You heard Dr. Cordy Williams, the Marine who I interviewed. Amazing individual out in the San Diego area, I believe it was. A good friend of mine, Dr. Brad Glowacki, Dr. Billy DeMoss, Dr. Carolyn Griffin, Dr. Ed Osborne. There's so many that I'm actually forgetting. Tabor Smith, Paul Reed. These are people that I have been connected to for a long time. Troy Dukowitz. They're all popping in. So if I forget you, I don't mean to. They come into my mind. I will tell you right now, these people, Lisa Olszewski, these folks will literally tell themselves positive things to get themselves going when they first started practice. Now they're just rockets. They're rock stars. They understand the brilliance, the genius of positive mindset. This is a chiropractic thing, and not every chiropractor does this, but the successful ones do. Successful naturopaths, successful nutritional clinicians that I'm involved with, the Sarah Outlaws of the world. She'll know who she is when she hears that, obviously. These people tell themselves positive things every day, because guess what? It's a shitty world out there. There's a lot of shitty things going on, especially in our world from a chiropractic nutrition standpoint. We see people come in every single day that are sick and medicated to death. Yes, my wife, Lisa Palmerdine, yes, she's one of them as well. I was considering her an automatic one. We deal with a medicated world every day where people are sick and they don't feel positive because they don't feel good, all right? And it's very hard to come up, very up high on the vibe scale, okay? It's very hard to come up there if you don't feel good. However, all the people I talked about feel good because they're helping people every day. They're healthy. They're doing well. They don't have those types of issues. So when you tell me, well, what if it goes bad? What if President Trump is going to turn on us? What if this is not a good thing? What if it's a new world order? What if Gates gets his... You can think about that all day long, and that's going to get you nowhere. Just like successful business people don't think about negative stuff all day. They think about positive things. They give themselves mantras. Dr. Angela Renner, yes, she's amazing. If you guys want to name out people, you can all day long, because I agree. I just can't remember them off the top of my head, okay? You have to give yourself positive thoughts and thinking on a daily basis. And trust me, we're not all perfect at it. If you think I wake up every single day on the right side of the bed and life is just perfect all day long, and no, we all hit it. But my point in this is we need this to go right. So Dr. Dean is not a New World Order shill because I invest in crypto. Dr. Dean researches like crazy. Dr. Dean is with his colleagues all the time. Okay? We keep ourselves in a close-knit group of positive people because we want our lives and our businesses to go positive. We also want people to be positive and get better. So this is why you think positive about it. This is why I dive into this stuff. You know, those people on Twitter could be completely full of crap. However, I've read that stuff before in other places. So that also gives me positive thinking and going, you know what? I'm reading this in different places. This is going the right direction. And you know what? If something does happen that's bad, I have in the back of my mind, keep a watchful eye. So just because I come out here and I promote every night how great this is going to go, I still have this little thing in the back of my mind that says if something goes wrong, I'm ready to pivot and I'm ready to go where I need to go, take my family, protect them, protect friends, all that stuff, okay? That's why I say also, no matter how good you see on Twitter, no matter how on fire it is, no matter what the president's saying, how great it is, you still have to be prepared at all times. Okay? I've said this a million times, whether it's money, life, family, etc. Being prepared makes things go right. But I have to stay positive, you have to stay positive, and then just know that if something does go wrong, be ready for it. Okay? And we will all survive. But I truly believe Dr. Mike Reed, who I spoke to today. I almost forgot that name. Man, see, when I'm in the camera, I can't think of all the names of my friends. Dr. Reed and I spent some time on the phone today just chatting and going over stuff. And let me tell you, there's even times where I'm like, oh, crap, this thing is not going right. And he's in my ear going, no, this is going to go well. This is what's going to happen. And I'll actually tell you something he told me today. Ready? Here you go. I always go longer than I think to because I get on a roll. So I was talking to Dr. Mike Reed today, and he said to me, he goes, this is what I think is going to go down. We're going to have some false flags, which I said I agree with. And then he says, I think what's going to happen is Obama's going to get nailed before this all goes down. And then I think Hillary's going to get nailed. And Trump is going to expose all this stuff probably in summer because he keeps saying summer is going to be hot. And then Dr. Mike Reed thinks, and I was laughing when he said this because I have to wrap my mind around this. He thinks that when he explains how everything happened and he tells the American people how bad this was, that then he's going to trot out on stage JFK Jr. and say, this was the guy who was behind it with me that took down the cabal and the deep state over the last God knows how many years. And that was his conclusion. So I'm wrapping my mind around that because I also had Praying Medic telling me there's no way JFK Jr. is alive. And so I was like, oh, dude, you killed my heart a little bit on that one because, man, I'm hoping I would love to see something like that occur in the United, just for the whole, excitement factor. But either way, that's what he had to say tonight. So I just thought it was fascinating. So stay positive, guys. That is one of your biggest homework projects on an every single day basis. Is you have to stay positive because that honestly is maybe 90% of the battle. Staying positive. You know, positive thinking makes things go right the majority of the time. So if you're in the crap hole, have someone help you get out of it. But you got to move on. We have to make something happen, okay? Good. I'm not going to take questions tonight, not because I don't love you all, but I went way over my time that I thought I was going to go, and so it's time for me to try to get to bed, which is very difficult on a Sunday night when Twitter's blowing up and I talk to you good people because you give me tons of energy and I love all of you. You're amazing. I hope I brought value to you tonight. I hope I bring value to you every single night. Keep in mind, this is a busy week. So I think I'm back on tomorrow with Jim Chester for some more follow-up stuff that we weren't able to get to. We're gonna film some more from a chiropractic standpoint, and then tomorrow night I'll be on. And then tomorrow night, very special guest who I'm not going to tell you who it is. A very big announcement from both himself and I. Now you know it's a guy. Okay, that's tomorrow night. Do not miss tomorrow night because we're going to unleash some really cool stuff that we need all of you to get behind, and it's going to be happening in a week, okay? So be there at 9:30 for that tomorrow night. Tuesday, I have the crypto guy, one of my crypto guys on Tuesday. A very special shout out to Andrew, who helped me get that all done. It's been fantastic. He's on Tuesday. Wednesday, I have Ken Rolla talking about viruses, how to handle them, more 5G, and probably some background military stuff. And then we have the show Wednesday night. Thursday, during the afternoon, I have Lauren Boebert, I think that's how you pronounce her name, who is the Colorado woman running for Congress. She'll be on Thursday night, and then Friday. I'm supposed to be on a podcast Friday. I have to figure out if that's going to work or not because we'll get into that. I'm not going to give away any secrets, okay? Good. Wonderful. Guys, have an amazing evening. I love all of you. You're awesome. Keep up that positive energy. Let's make this country the way it's supposed to be. Let's save America. Let's save Australia. Let's save Canada. Let's save Croatia. Let's save Italy. Let's save China. We as human beings, along with our brethren across the world, have an ability right now. We have the opportunity, just with our positive mindsets, to not only change our countries forever, but to shift our planet forever and bring in a period and an age of healing that we never expected before. And this is happening on our watches. So you're in this with me. Let's make this happen. Let's make this world the way it was intended to be and make it flourishing and make all of us amazing human beings on an amazing planet without all the darkness. Awesome. Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, signing off for this Sunday night. Have a very blessed, awesome, rock star week. Love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.